Hello, Frugivore. Welcome back to another episode. So today's video, we are going to react to High Carb Hannah and her recent video, Pregnant and Plant-Based, What I Eat in a Day. And this was fairly highly requested by some of you. So I'm excited. Hey, I haven't checked in on High Carb Hannah for quite some time. The last I heard from Hannah, she was leaving YouTube and she was getting a job at a cafe or something, which really shocked me. But she's back now. And I'm glad she's back because she is promoting a plant-based diet. And good. Great. We need more individuals on YouTube doing that. And I'm so glad she's been at it for years and she's been consistently promoting a plant-based diet. So that's great. Look, and there's mango. The first food that I see is mango. So yes, yes, yes. What a great start. I mean, mango, fruit in general, is great for pregnancy. It's great for your folate levels, antioxidants. Wow, look at that, vitamin C. All right, so we have meal one here, and what can I say? It looks vibrant, it's full of hydration. This is great baby building food. Right here for human frugivores. I'm not exactly sure how many calories here, but maybe around 500, 600 calories. Yeah, it's great, decent. I would still recommend a smoothie first up, but mono-mealing, I mean, it was not exactly mono-mealing, but fruit, whole food like this is obviously excellent. So no problem here.
Good morning, guys.
Oh, and I also want to say congratulations to Hannah for becoming pregnant, because I believe she did have a bit of a challenge for some time, and now she's pregnant, and I think that's wonderful. I really, really do. And I guess I can drop a little bit of a bombshell here for a moment and just let you know that I have changed my feelings on pregnancy, on having children, okay? And yeah, so like, how can I say this? In my 20s, I always expected I was going to be a mother, I was going to have children. That was just what was going to happen. But when you meet certain people in your life and they have certain strong beliefs, and that can influence how you actually feel and subsequently what happens in your life. And that happened with me. And I'm not blaming anyone and saying, hey, it's someone else's fault that I didn't have a baby, I didn't become a mother, it's their fault, and all those things. Of course, the choice in the end is mine, and I take full responsibility for that. But I just wanted to come out and say that I no longer believe that having children is basically wrong or a bad thing, because of course it isn't. It's completely natural, like every other animal in nature is meant to procreate. So yes, I just wanted to give you an update on that and just say congratulations again to Hannah. All right, let's go.
I feel like I did this in the last video, but I'm actually walking to the store again because I think I'm going to do a little what I eat in a day today for you guys. Derek has been finalizing like the actual SketchUp and build like all the lumber and like all the actual dimensions and like technical stuff of the house this week. So he has the trailer. And
okay, so we're going to move on to the food. It sounds like Derek has been hard at work. That's great. Put that boy to work. He likes to build, doesn't he? Nothing wrong with that. That's good. A handy man. We like a handy man. We don't like those ones who just, as soon as there's something to do in the house or some sort of mechanics, they're like, oh my gosh, let's call someone. Right. It's good to have a handy man at home like I do with Snoopy.
I am going to run to the store quick and then we'll see what else we get up to. I might go to my friend's house later and get some more plants because I'm kind of working on like my little nursery of like what we're going to plant around the tiny house. So I can show you guys that and we'll see what else we
Oh, so they're living in a tropical place now, right? And they're building another tiny house. It sounds like that. You can give me an update in the comments if you know more than I do. Okay, here we are to meal two. And it's a smoothie, good, but it's very small, very, very small. And it's a chocolate smoothie. Bananas, great. Banana base, fantastic. Good potassium. The cacao powder and the cacao nibs. Cocoa powder. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, okay, because it does contain caffeine. And especially, if you're having a child, I would get rid of the caffeine completely. You don't want to risk any interference with like calcium absorption, which basically helps the baby build its skeleton. You don't want to interfere with that process, and cacao definitely can interfere. And sure, it's probably a small amount and everything, but for me, I would just think, Why have it? Just replace it with carob, right? It's easy. Okay, got some music. I don't want to be copyrighted here.
I was so resistant to buying one of these things for like years because I'm like, I live in a beautiful place, I can walk outside, but I spend so much of my time reading that and walking that I was like, if I can combine these two things, I will save myself legitimately like 2 hours a day. So I caved. I bought this walking pad. It is the best.
Okay, so she bought a walking pad. Cool. I mean, I think that is good, especially if you can use it with the computer. I mean, I would even consider that because I sit down a lot, all right? And it's better if I stand. I have a standing desk, but I end up sitting down a lot. So if I was forced to basically walk on something, that would be probably good. Get some more steps in. By the way, I have my step counter on me all the time. And what time is it now? It's 9:20 and I've done 7,500 steps. Okay, so I do aim for 15,000, but at the moment it has been happening. Not even 10,000 has been happening. So I am, it's a challenge for me. It's a challenge for me to stay active. So I think the walking pad can be great. So she's got some sweet rice seasoning with sea salt.
Best thing I've ever bought. It's so easy for me to get like 15,000 steps a day because working from home, like I am most of the time editing, cooking, cleaning, just taking care of things, and being able to just take little 15-minute breaks every now and then and walk for 15 minutes and get 1,000 or 15.
Okay, so I'm guessing that this is normal for the voiceover about the fitness to be over the food. I thought she would probably talk about the food, but she's got rice going on here. So she's got white rice and she has got vegetables.
1,500 steps in is literally a game changer for me. So I will link the one that I got down below. It folds up, it goes under my bed. It'll fit in our tiny house. I've already measured all these things, and like this thing has been one of the greatest things that I've bought. So just putting it out there. If you guys have ever thought about buying a walking pad, definitely recommend it. It was like $200. Just saves me so much time during the day. So
you're almost selling me, Hannah. You're almost selling me. I have been thinking about it myself.
I did a little walk on there. I had 8,000 steps by the time I was making my little lunch here, which it's not little. I made 3 of these sushi rolls for lunch, and they were so good.
Okay, so when it comes to the sushi, you know I'm a huge fan. I mean, I have been a huge fan for many, many years on the sushi. There has been some issues with buying it out in relation to parasite risk and stuff like that. But when it comes to white rice, okay, I actually just recently made a video, 10 reasons why I've given up the rice. But when it comes to not only white rice, brown rice is even worse actually. Rice, when it comes to the arsenic, especially when you're pregnant, okay, because rice accumulates arsenic from like the soil and the water. And pregnant women are actually more vulnerable to arsenic poisoning, basically, because the arsenic crosses the placenta and actually can affect fetal development, which is pretty scary. The FDA has even given warnings about limiting the amount of rice and rice products during pregnancy for this reason. You know, it's been linked to low birth weight, impaired brain development, and even increased infant mortality in the higher exposure regions. And I think as China and Bangladesh have had issues like this because, you know, they're big rice eating cultures. And especially if you have it every day, it's going to accumulate. And I think just during pregnancy, I would say no to the rice completely. And I'm not trying to be like a killjoy and be like, oh, you know, just super purity or anything like that. These are real reasons. This is a really like valid reason to avoid rice, especially during pregnancy. I mean, if you're having any issues with immunity, with thyroid function, endocrine system, you should definitely look at the arsenic content in rice because it's really high, okay? And just be careful. That's what I'm saying.
I have loved continuing eating like how I've always eaten during my pregnancy. And the proof is in the pudding. Like my midwife is always astonished. My blood pressure is perfect. She said that I have the highest iron that she has ever seen. And
that is wonderful. Okay, that is really, really good sign. Awesome.
Like the only patient that she has that's been, you know, plant-based, vegan, and eats kind of the way that I do. So I definitely am going to continue eating the way that I've always eaten. And
Okay, well, I'm giving this advice. She is doubling down and saying she's going to continue eating that way. And it makes sense, okay, because she's got, great blood tests and everything like that. And it just makes you feel like, wow, I'm doing well. But just consider that arsenic factor. Just consider that. It looks delicious, I know. But there is a better option, and that would be a fruit meal at this point. That would be a huge, beautiful fruit smoothie with sun crystals and, because it's just packed with a lot of antioxidants, vitamins, hydration, which is really important when you're pregnant because basically your blood volume expands by about 50% during pregnancy. So hydration is really important. And, rice doesn't offer any hydration at all or any vitamin C, for instance.
And enjoying my massive plates of sushi for lunch like this. It's just been raining all morning, so I'm gonna run to this thrift store that's in town and swap out some of my clothes. I've been just getting rid of stuff that's like not like.
Okay, we're going to move on because I'm about the food. The girl's about the food. I'm glad she's swapping out the clothing and doing all that. Let me see.
I did find this cute little kind of beachy dress. It was from Freelee.
Wow, that does not look like a tiny house. That is quite significant, that house. It looks beautiful.
And it was just like long and flowy, and I think that this will fit me for a really long time. Aside from that, though, I want to say
I'm really happy for her. I just saw a little bump there. I'm just so happy for her that she got pregnant and things are going well.
That obviously being pregnant, I'm going to gain weight. I haven't changed my eating since I have lost like my original 70 pounds from the beginning, like 12 years ago. I've always eaten the same way. I just call it low calorie density because that's just the best way to describe it. 90% of the food that I eat is under 700 calories per pound. It's the only way that I've found being a volume eater that allows me to eat large portions of food and feel full and satiated. And
that's the thing though, when you're doing this, it's still like diet culture. This low calorie density, especially during pregnancy, you don't want to be thinking about that low calorie density. You want to be really getting in a lot of sucrose, okay? A lot of fruit sugars, a lot of glucose and fructose. And these meals don't have a lot of fructose. She did have some fruit at the start, which was great. But meals like this, although, I understand what she's saying, but she's still about the 50-50 kind of plate, where you're having like a lot of vegetables. You're increasing the volume, you're increasing that volume in your stomach through low calorie vegetables. I don't recommend you do that because you just end up binging out and then you come back to it and then you binge out, and it's kind of this cycle which is difficult to get out of. It's always better to get fitter. Eat as much as you want, forget the calorie density, go for nutrient dense foods like fruits, okay? They are full of nutrition. And if you do that, then you're going to be satisfied because you're getting that fructose in. It's really important to switch off foraging mode, getting that fructose because we need it. We are frugivores and fruit naturally come to fructose, but these foods don't. A lot of these, the famine foods and stuff like that. So I've found that the people who focus too much on volume eating with like low calorie foods, they actually end up being underfed and underfueled and basically going for caffeine, going for the stimulants, and that's never better than eating real food. So just keep that in mind.
Not need a day-to-day basis about how they found my channel a long time ago. They were feeling...
Okay, so she's having like noodles here. I'm not exactly sure what it is. With vegetables, it seems.
And I feel like this is just a way of eating that...
Okay, so she's got some chickpeas here and she's got tofu. All right, this is quite on the bloating side when you're pregnant, especially because of the fermentation in the colon, but we'll keep going.
It's natural. Like you can eat as much as you want. You're eating this really filling, nutritionally dense food.
Well, fruit is far more nutritionally dense, really, when it comes to what you actually need as a frugivore. All right, the living nutrition is really important. But of course, for dinner, I'm not saying you have to eat just all fruit. And of course, you're allowed to have your noodles and your chickpeas and your tofu. I'm just here to present what really is best for the human frugivore physiology. So just know that that's what I'm about. I'm not just trying to like picking, for no reason or anything like that. So All right, I just want to keep going with this so I can concentrate on what she's eating there. So she's putting nutritional yeast. My partner and I find nutritional yeast incredibly bloating. So I'm not sure how people get away with having it really without getting too bloated, especially when you've got a baby coming on. You know, the thing with legumes, they slow digestion, they create gas. They aren't ideal when you're already managing basically a bloated belly from pregnancy, right? So she's feeling fine on that. I'm just trying to give better options. So I would actually include the apple rice, the Gut Glow apple rice that I've shown on my channel. It is full of good bacteria. It's going to help slim, not flatten the belly when you're pregnant, but you know what I mean. Reduce the amount of gas you have, because these dishes can be quite gassy because of the chickpeas, because of the tofu, because of certain, nutritional yeast and stuff like that. So
Group access to me, you can ask me any.
Okay, so she's doing a bit of promotion there, but I just want to focus on the food. And she always makes beautiful looking dishes, doesn't she? It really does look beautiful. Okay, so this seems like it's pretty much the end, all right? And let me just go over what she ate. So she started with the mango. She started strong, really, really strong with the mangoes and the grapes. I'm super supportive of that. She could also just sprinkle some sun crystals on there to bring up the fructose, the energy, the nutrition even more. Okay, and then she went to one drink that is a stimulant. This is like a stimulant drink. And this is what happens, okay? You end up going to chocolate, which has caffeine, or coffee or stuff like that if you're not eating enough nutrition with the volume. And that's where fruit's amazing, because it has both the volume and the nutrition, so many micronutrients. So that can happen with these 50-50 plate kind of ways of eating. Okay, and then we went to the rice, which, sushi, I love it. I've been eating for years. But again, while you're pregnant, the arsenic issue, it potentially is an issue. So I'm just warning Hannah to, think about that a bit. But it looks healthy other than that, of course. And then she's got the pasta with the vegetables, the nutritional yeast, and the chickpeas and the tofu. I just find that this is going to be more bloating for the belly. And when you're pregnant, you want to minimize that, obviously. But all in all, she's eating very healthy. All in all, she's eating very healthy. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy for her. Let me go back to her face. Okay, so I just wanted to leave it there. And again, congratulations to Hannah. I think this is wonderful. I really, truly wish her all the best with her pregnancy. I hope we see a healthy little plant-based baby very soon. All right, well, as soon as it's meant to happen. Okay, don't forget to go through it yourself and let us know in the comments below what you think and who you want to see next.